Hey everybody, and I'm back to talk about when your mom raises you as her friend and not with life's values and or lessons. Catch that tea. So I'm gonna pull the video up. I was trying to upload it, but before I move the media. I was trying to upload it, but wouldn't let me. So I had to literally share my screen first before I could do anything. So here's the video on YouTube. And I'm going to play it. Let's get it started.
Evelyn Lozada on another episode of Drop the Low. And I know every episode I say I am ecstatic, but baby.
Well, you usually say you're excited.
Yeah, so but I'm like over the moon today.
And I'm your co-host, Shaniece Hairston. For the first time since the birth of baby Blaze, we are sitting down together on the same set with Jay Sion, the Game Taylor. I call you Jay. Jay is a Grammy-nominated rapper, storyteller, and cultural force whose music has chronicled life, loss, and growth for nearly 2 decades. Get ready for an honest conversation about starting over as a father after 40, co-parenting, family dynamics, accountability, and how life experience shaped the...
How does that work for how does that make sense? How does that work for men and not for women? Starting over as a dad? You can't start over. You're a dad. Oh, but okay.
The man, the music, and the public persona people think they know. AKA my baby daddy. Basically.
I was waiting for it. I'm like,
I mean, that's the most important, title.
It is. I think it is. I think that this is like surreal, because I talk to you guys every day, but this is to see you guys in this setting. It just reminds me that you guys are superstars too, because I don't see you on that light,
Right.
So this is super cool to me. I woke up, I was excited to come here, and I was half family member and then half business, because you guys are doing great, and it's one of those podcasts that people are really starting to talk about and get into. And I watch, most of them in full length, especially the last one, the one that I saw with Gil. That was super dope, and so I wanted to be a part of it, so I'm here.
Are you researching dental implants? There's a lot of dental offices that'll talk about doing their teeth in the day process.
So did we need to drop a few episodes for you to want to come on? Because
I'm not
this has
gonna
been
lie.
a 6-month conversation.
You know what it was? I wanted to number one, with me, I gotta get my hair braided, because I was going through a weird I didn't my hair wasn't long enough for braids when y'all first started, and I was going through the weird afro stage. So I'm let me get my life together. Give me another 2 months, and I didn't want them braids where they right at the edge. As soon as you smile, your forehead bleed. Right. So I'm give me a little time and let me grow the hair out a little bit, and then I come on with a wave cap, which is crazy.
I was about to say, well, where are your braids now?
They here, but the wave cap, I got the suede wave cap. It matched the aesthetics, everything's going,
You look really nice.
Thank you.
Looks great on you.
Appreciate it.
You guys are really good looking people.
Yeah, thank you. We think the same thing about you.
You know what? Thank you.
You just had your 50th birthday.
I did.
And I remind you all the time of how good you look at 50, and not to slight anyone else, but when I was younger, you can remember when you were younger, 50-year-old people look I don't know what the hell was going on. They look like George Jefferson.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Or the Golden Girls.
Right. Yeah. Literally.
They were your age.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They literally were younger. Some were 40 something on the show, which is crazy. But it's different times, man.
You think you look good for your age?
I look good.
Too?
I look great. Yeah.
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 Okay. So this just a fun fact. Drop the low. So when Shaw and I were talking about doing a podcast,
we're in a like technology age where, you know, your children or your baby daddy or your, you know, your significant other, like, you know, you like drop the low, I'll pull up, you know. So it's like Lozada, it just worked. It just worked.
Right.
And I'm glad that like it's, you know, really, really going well for you.
So you are really creative with your like ideas, and obviously you are in music. So did you ever hear Michael Jackson, that interview, when he's like, whenever he has an idea, he feels like it came from source itself? Do you?
I'm sorry, but is it me or is it that they just don't know how to communicate with each other in reality at all? It's just completely everything to not do with reality. But we're not getting to the nitty gritty of why we're here. Can we get to that? But I guess they have their way of want to prolong the show, I guess, to put some time on the clock. Maybe that's what this is.
You feel that way when you come up with something?
I feel I wouldn't say I haven't had that thought, but I think that like I'm real energy based. So I mean it comes from somewhere. And if you believe in any higher power, like no matter what religion or where you are on your, you know, journey through life, if you believe in energy, then you know it's coming from a place that is like obviously outsourced or really deep inside you. So yeah, I think it has more like for me per se, I think it has more to do with like just following your heart. You know, like I don't second guess my heart. Like if my heart tells me that this is it, I just roll with that.
Right. So when you think about your legacy, when you think about it now, knowing all your kids are watching, how do you finish this chapter of your legacy? Not that it's finished, but how do you finish this particular segment and you go on to another one because you are dropping a new album. So you're still continuing the legacy.
Yeah. You know, it gets real. I'm like, notably the guy that said, you're 38 and you're still rapping, I'm 26, so is the Doves. When I was 26, I guess I never thought I would be 38. So when I was taking, you know, small little shots at like the older rappers at that point in time, I just wasn't being realistic. And then when I turned 38 on my 38th birthday, like the whole joke was, now you're 38. Like, should you still be rapping? But then after seeing like, you know, like the Clips drop an album, they're both older than me and they're both very skilled rappers. They Grammy nominated right now for, you know, probably album of the year. And Malice is like 51 or 52. And they both look like they're in their 30s and they both rap at a high caliber. So seeing guys like that, like I think Rick Ross is older than me, 2 Chainz is older than me. Obviously Nas just put out an album with DJ.
It's amazing how men can come on here and say that they look very young for their age, but can call Black women washed up, and how they just can't continue to do things at the rightful old age that he is talking about in these age groups now. Sir, you, Future, and Rick Ross, y'all all ran through and washed up. You are still trying to be a rapper when you should be trying to pursue other avenues of life. But when you've done so much and this is all you can do, I guess that's all you can do.
Premiere, they're older than me, so being able to see your peers rap well into, you know, their 40s and 50s was like a motivation for me to like really keep going. Not that I wouldn't if they weren't, but like it's just dope to see that the best rappers in the world are still rappers that, like, you know, were a little bit ahead of me and are still in my class.
Right. I will say I listened to the mixtape that you dropped. I was like, let me listen to this, you know, and let me see if he still got it. And I'm in the car. I was like, this is so good. Like it was really, really good. Isn't it? It's number 1, right?
It was number 1 with a drop, but again, it's just a mixtape, so there wasn't much promo behind it, because the mixtape was basically the reason I called it Every Movie Needs a Trailer, because it was just a teaser before the album. My focus is really on my album. I did the mixtape in a few days. Both of you guys know how long I've been working on my album, and the stages and changes that I've been going for children. They know exactly.
Looking for tax help? Now there are TurboTax experts right in your neighborhood. They get to know
exactly who I am. They know who I want them to be, and they know who I am, and they know that there's no way in life, in any shape or form, that I'm going to allow them to walk in my footsteps.
Well, I'm happy that you're here, but I have a bone. I have a big bone to pick with you.
Okay.
How did you make me a grandmother before 50?
You know,
How did that happen, Jay?
I knew.
The question should be with the bone to pick is, what was the problem with you marrying my daughter before making me a grandmother? What's up with that? And her daughter looks a little disgusted. Her head is to the ceiling, and she looking some type of way, feeling some type of way.
It was 49.
Yeah,
it was before 50, technically.
I knew you were in the crunch, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to hit you with that so that by the time you're 60 years old, you have a whole like 5th, 6th grader. You know, I didn't want to wait, you know, any longer because, you know, who knows, you know, we're getting old.
Well, you made Welly a grandmother at like 38.
She was 38. I did make, my mom was a grandmother at 38.
Oh, well. So there it is.
Because I had Shaniece so young, but all I know is that I know how to process the information.
It happened very quickly.
Yeah, you know? like I didn't know how to like process it, right? Like Shaw tells me she's pregnant. Obviously, we have a great private conversation. And I had to sit with it for a little while because I'm like, I'm going to be a grandmother. Like, this is weird, you know, like I know I'm 50.
Well, and you've never been a grandmother yet. So I know you were like, what does that look like for me?
What does that look like? Like what, well, like, first of all, what is she having? What is it going to look like? What is this going to be? How is my life going to change? I thought about Leo. He's a young uncle. I thought about so many things. Then when obviously she told me that you were the dad, I was like, oh, shit.
Have some more.
To me, she had already like, you know, kind of lived with it a little bit. So I was super shocked. She cried a little bit.
What?
I don't think it was the reaction that Sha wanted. So she cried a little bit. You can't learn anything from that. And if everything's smooth, somebody's hiding something. You know, they're not being their 100% of their authentic self. One of my first questions to her was, did you tell your mom? Right? I was like, did you tell your mom? And she was like, well, I'm gonna just wait a little bit, you know? And so I guess she waited a little bit and then she told you. Yeah. And then I was like, did you tell your dad? And she was like, no, I'm gonna wait a little bit. But you know, the thing about when she told me, I was shocked a little bit. Like literally, I was shocked.
How were you shocked that she is pregnant, sir? Y'all had unprotected sex, and that's usually how the birds and bees go. How were you shocked? Come on, it just seemed like he just placating for the video. Like, let's just be real. You probably did not want her to be pregnant because that's why you asked why did she tell her mom or her dad, because you probably was going to find a way for her not to be, to take care of it in another matter. But because she did, probably, now y'all like making it seem like it's something that it is or isn't.
Shock. And we got into this, you know, thing like I love being a dad, right? Like I absolutely love being a dad.
If you love being a dad, then you should have been shocked that she was pregnant. So get over it and roll tide.
But I was shocked as shit. And I don't think it was the reaction that Sha wanted. So she cried a little bit. And and it was uncomfortable for
you hurt her by your reaction. And that's very obvious. She's not saying a lot or revealing a lot, but it's there. It's there.
For her and for me, I didn't want to make her cry. I just was like, I didn't know what to say because I hadn't had a kid in 14 years. So I was like super shocked. She had never had a kid. So
he didn't want another one, basically. Just say I wasn't expecting to have another child, but because I had unprotected sex, you should have been like, you knew what was going to happen and it happened. So yeah.
Of course, she was super shocked, but when she found out, she kind of got to live with it a little bit, you know, like I didn't know as soon as she knew. So she lived with it a little bit, processed it. And then once it got to me, she had already like, you know, kind of lived with it a little bit. So I was super shocked. She cried a little bit. I was really thrown out to the wayside about that because I didn't want to make her feel like I wasn't excited or I wasn't going to love the situation because I absolutely love my children. But we got around that, and obviously he's here and he's beautiful and throwing shit across the house. And yeah, he's just a great kid. And then for her being Blaze's mom, like, oh my God, like a gift to a child, because she's so calm and her reserve is like immaculate.
Yeah.
And like one day he knocked over coffee. Like hot ass coffee. And me, I'd be like, pow, pow. And she was just like, it's okay. I swear to God, it was like Cinderella came to that motherfucker with the Swiffer. And she was like, it's okay, baby. And just swept it up. And I was like, I would have just get a little pop, little no, little something. But man, she parents with so much grace. And
she does.
I'm just like, ecstatic that you're Blaze's mom, because I know that, because I'd be wild as fuck. So I know that like as long as he got you guys, as his little army, like he's gonna be straight.
And so,
but I feel like you manifested Blaze.
Yeah.
Like you were mentioning another child before I got pregnant.
Yeah, true.
Like you manifested Blaze. Yeah. On our first date, you were talking about a Blaze, not him exactly.
Yeah.
But you were talking about a Blaze. So you agree with that?
I do agree.
Maybe he was talking about another baby with somebody else, because that's crazy. He looking like, yeah, because it was actually another baby or a baby on the way, or this is weird.
I think that and
we talked about kids.
Yeah, true. But just so you guys know, because you guys are beautiful women. You guys are still like women, right? But men, right? Men see a baddie, we think like I'm gonna get her pregnant. That's what men think when they see a baddie.
You gamed me.
So if you're thinking about when you see the baddie, you're gonna get her pregnant. Why y'all complaining about child support and 50-50? You see the baddie, you want to get her pregnant. Why complain about life's lessons kicking you? Ugh.
You gamed me.
I'm just saying, when a man really sees a woman that like that he likes and it's a baddie, that be our first thought. Like we would think
that's the most childish, dumbest thing I've ever heard coming from a 46-year-old man. You see a baddie, you want to put a baby in her, not marry her first, because you just want to lock her down with a child, but you don't want to marry her. Then when you do, like you say, you want to put a baby in her, but y'all complain about child support. So it's like you defeating the purpose of being able to do what you want to do, and then thinking you're just going to impregnate somebody without the responsibility and accountability. Come on.
Thinking like, damn, like I would have a baby by that. So yeah, I'm manifested. I'm manifesting.
Gamed.
Yeah. Game, manifested,
Mm-hmm. So what lessons do you have like from raising your older children that are showing up in how you raise Blaze?
So the thing that I've been finding a little bit different is that I'm slower. Like I'm older. I'm like when I had Harlem, I was 23, Justice, I was 27, and in Cali, I was 30. So I was a little bit young and faster, and it's like, I'm obviously 46, right? I'm still in, pretty good shape. And when my son gets to, crawling around, like he down there. So I got to get down there with him. And sometimes these knees don't be kneeing, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, I think it's a little bit more of a physical challenge. I mean, I'm not on a walker or holding a cane, but I'm not, running around as fast as I used to. So that's a challenge to be able to, and you guys know, like I'm out every day doing cardio. And most of it is really just to keep up with this grown boy,
Yeah.
So
do you feel like so like with me with Blaze, like Blaze gets all the gentle grandparent. Yeah. Like I'm so gentle with him on a level that like he could do no wrong. I also think that Leo also gets, because I'm a little bit older, I do a little bit more gentle parenting. Do you feel like you're going to be like that with Blaze? Because you know how you say, okay, because we grew up during that time where your mom is going to slap the shit out of you.
Yeah. So me, I establish authority very young. I think that Blaze is 15 months. And at this point, there is no disciplinary actions. He's a baby. He's trying to figure it out. He picks up things, eats off the floor. Shaw's like, it's gonna make his immune system stronger. And I'm like, boy, get this lint out your mouth. But she's just like, let him eat it. And yeah, I mean, I believe it. But again, man, she's a great mom. But me, I think that my authority kicks in around kindergarten, and then from kindergarten to the age of 10 is where I kind of set in stone who's really in charge, right? So that when he is like in the 5th and 6th grade and he's going to the middle school, that like the fear of upsetting your father is really what a boy needs, right? Yeah. It's like Leo with Carl. Like he can sometimes you gotta be a mom, and you're a good mom too, and you a Sag, and you're not no punk, so Leo ain't gonna wild out. But sometimes you try your mom. But if you put Carl on the FaceTime, one look, and if he say I'm getting on a plane, Leo gonna be like, huh,
1,000%.
So it's like from 5 to 10 is where I really establish authority with my sons. My daughter, she's been running over me for 15 years straight, and I allow it. I love her, but also she just last night, she wanted to go hang with her friends. I established the same boundaries when she was, young. She loves and respects me. I love and respect her. I also respect her young womanhood, and I'm giving her like a rope and letting her, pull far. And last night she was hanging out with her friends. I gave her the time to be in the house. She cut it 30 minutes before that and was in way earlier than I told her to be. And I was like, that's dope. She respects me. She loves me.
Expert that there's a connection between vaccinating your kids and autism. Like there's just so much out there, but how do you feel about that?
So me, I'm not.
I cried in my car for 20 minutes last Tuesday. Just sat in the parking lot of my mom's memory care facility and lost it.
Really, I came up, we got vaccinated as kids. I'm pretty sure you did. It was just like what you had to do.
Right.
And now I don't really trust all the vaccinations. So I'm not really versed in vaccinations. I just don't too much trust vaccinations, right? Yeah. Like I didn't get a COVID vaccination. I didn't have COVID probably about 20 times at this point, but I fight it with my immune system and with my well-being and how I take care of myself, right? Some people need to get vaccinated because they may have immune systems that are not as strong. As far as like her maternal decisions, like I don't challenge her. I just don't challenge her. I know that she definitely does research. She definitely knows what she's talking about.
She's an investigator.
She's for sure an investigator. And again, man, she is off to a great start. I know it's only been,
and I'm just talking while the mic is off. But I was saying, I don't see where Shaniece fits in the conversation because it's mostly Evelyn and the game talking. And she kind of dips in and out, even though they're talking about her child. So, yeah.
A year and some months. But she was also pregnant for 9.5, whatever that was. But I think even with you having Leo and her being as much old as she is, the age gap between her and Leo, she had to like low key parent Leo sometimes. So, I mean, she already had the knack for, her maternal vibes and instincts and all that, but I don't challenge her. But it goes the same with Aliska. When we were young, I didn't challenge her maternal decisions. Tiff I didn't challenge her.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question. So since you had COVID, like how many times?
So I have to be a baby mama, but not enough to be a wife. Okay.
Do you feel like that built up your immune system?
I really do.
It's the same as when kids eat dirt.
Eat dirt, yes. Yeah. So
exactly.
She's saying give your kids 1 scoop of dirt a week, and they can fight off anything.
I mean, at this age, he's at a funny stage where like we'll find him eating dog food, or he'll lick the floor. Yeah. Or yesterday he took his bottle. This is his thing lately, bro. He took his bottle and he goes like this. He spills it. He did like this on the floor, and then he licked it.
Yeah.
And like I watched.
So basically, they just talking about Shaniece like she's a kind of like a careless mom that lets her baby licks off the floor with the nipple of the bottle. Why are we talking about this? I'm a mom, and I know if my mom was talking about that with my ex, I would feel very uncomfortable because I would have to say, y'all kind of making me look bad, like I'm letting my baby just lick dirt off the ground or something. For him to have a strong immune system, and she's not intervening, like, is it true? This is crazy. They are low-key making you look like a bad parent. And it's the fact that Evelyn herself doesn't even get it. But this is what happens when your mom is your bestie. And she talks about you like in a bestie conversation, like not like her daughter. When a mom respects her daughter as her daughter, she's going to affirm everything that she says with correctiveness and understanding. And she's not going to make her daughter look bad at all in the slightest, especially behind her child and not on TV.
Watched him do this because I was curious to see what he's going to do. And I'm like, wow. I mean, he is funny. He is funny.
He his own, he his own little man. And I say that, like, I had Callie she was an easy child to raise. Harlem didn't even really speak to people till he was in kindergarten.
Yeah.
He's so mild-mannered and chill. Blaze reminds me a lot of King Justice in a lot of ways, as far as a baby, because they're just active. They know what they're doing, but they want you to think that they're trying to figure it out. But he knows what he's doing. He's just like, but then it's a learning curve too. Like, he's trying to figure it out. He needs to be told, don't do that or no. And then he needs to be told, by his mom, it's okay, eat the dirt off the floor. It's gonna make you, strong as Samson one day. But again, that is the beauty of having like two good parents.
Yeah. Did you think it was crazy when you posted Blaze on Christmas and people were saying, "Oh, that's an AI baby"?
Yeah, it was crazy. So the thing is, like, whenever I post him, people don't know if it's real or if it's him or if it's like a app or something. I'm just like, look, man, my kid is beautiful. It ain't me. I wish I was as beautiful as he is, but we really just got like, I mean, I don't know if I want to call it luck because I feel like I'm a good looking person. She's stunning. You're one of the best looking grandmas on earth.
Thanks, Jay.
No, I mean, you got.
She had to do with this. This is the mom and dad genes game. Let it go. Oh my God.
Give it to yourself. You're 50 years old. And when you say 50 years old, that is like half a century. And so you should really I know you got to look. I know you look in the mirror and say, you know what, Ed, like, you really are doing great. And I mean, if we opened your DMs right now, you would have YNs to, old niggas in there. Like, hey, so it's like you really got to give yourself and your genetics and your mother, like, her props because you guys are really good looking people.
Thank you. Yeah, I've gotten into arguments with not arguments, but people are like, where did he get those colored eyes from? Like, as if it can't happen. It was like such a weird thing. And I even responded to like maybe one person because I don't argue in the comments no more. Like, you know what? You've been really good with that too. I feel like you used to troll sometimes. Like years ago, you would bang on people.
Right.
You don't do that no more.
Because you got to understand, number one, you got to understand where it's coming from. It's coming from someone who doesn't really like themselves. And so they like you, right? They like you so much that they're obsessed with you enough to try to tear you down, which is really them tearing their own selves down from the inside. Because it was like I was telling Sha before, people, we're in the light, right? Like all of us, just, we're in the light. So you have millions of followers, you have millions of followers. I have millions of followers. A person that's hiding behind their phone that has their own insecurities and fucked up life can easily tell you that you don't look good and then throw their phone on the charger and you can see it or not see it, right? It's so easy to throw a rock.
But you and Shaniece made the baby. You and Evelyn didn't make the baby. They're not talking. What are we talking about? Y'all talking about as if y'all made the baby and Shaniece had nothing to do with it.
Rock and hide a stone when you're not in the light.
Right.
But for those who are in the light, we understand that, like, I understand where it's coming from. So it's like the people that hate you are literally your biggest fans, because the people that love you, they don't have time to really zero in on every single thing you're doing. They're busy loving themselves. So it's literally only people who don't love themselves who are trying to get you, you know, down there with them. And I've just like never been the guy to like dive down. I'll get down there and like step on you, like pull my underwear down and take a shit on you if I really feel like trolling. But for the most part, man, like thank you for following, because if you look at most of your hated comments, it's going to say follow back.
Yeah.
Which means that they follow you, they wait, they see it, and they can't wait to tell you that they're having a shitty day again. And God bless them.
Are you surprised that they weaponized the fact that you two had a baby against me on the show? Like, I had a feeling it would happen, but like, how did you feel about that? Because
they called you a felon.
Yeah. I mean, true.
Are you a felon?
I am.
Why was I spending almost 7 hours a week cooking? Factor gives me the protein I need in minutes. Each meal is crafted by chefs and approved by dietitians, so hitting your protein goals is the easiest part of your day.
So I don't feel slighted by someone trying to like throw like.
And what happened? He said he was a felon.
I understand where it's coming from. So it's like the people that hate you are literally your biggest fans, because the people that love you, they don't have time to really zero in on every single thing you're doing. They're busy loving themselves. So it's literally only people who don't love themselves who are trying to get you, you know, down there with them. And I've just like never been the guy to like dive down. I'll get down there and like step on you, like pull my underwear down and take a shit on you if I really feel like trolling. But for the most part, man, like thank you for following, because if you look at most of your hated comments, it's going to say follow back.
Yeah.
Which means that they follow you, they wait, they see it, and they can't wait to tell you that they're having a shitty day again. And God bless them.
Are you surprised that they weaponized the fact that you two had a baby against me on the show? Like, I had a feeling it would happen, but like, how did you feel about that? Because
they called you a felon.
Yeah. I mean, true.
Are you a felon?
I am. So I don't feel slighted by someone trying to like throw like.
That was so weird. He's not afraid to admit. Yeah, he said, yeah. And you like, I get. So y'all didn't have the conversation over dinner? You 50-50 dinner? Like, it just seems like it's all performative. Like, you act like you didn't know when you probably knew. But you probably didn't know, because I said in somebody's comment that you were in the middle of this conversation between the game and your mom. And because you and your mom have a friendship rather than a mothership of her being your mom and teaching you life lessons, she didn't teach you this part about knowing something about somebody and being able to gather information. Because one thing about Evelyn is she's going to know about you before you know about her, which means that she knew about the game. And if you didn't know, and if she didn't tell you, that is a problem.
My past at me. Yeah, I'm a felon. My mama know I'm a felon. My kids know I'm a felon.
Okay, your mama know, your kids know, but did Shaniece know? Did you tell Shaniece when y'all was dating?
My fans know I'm a felon, and that's just what it is. I don't try to duck who I am as a person. You know what I'm saying? Have I?
Or is he saying that y'all know y'all knew who I was and you knew what it was? So yeah.
Am I in jail? Absolutely not. Made some mistakes in the past. Yes, I have. I was young, a little misguided. My father died a long time ago. Even when he was alive, I didn't really lean on him for advice the way I should have, the way my children can to me. So yeah, I made some mistakes. I'm not like one of those who's going to hide or, mask my face because I have a fear of somebody being judgmental about who I was at one point in time in my life. What I do know for a fact is anybody that's speaking my name, right, will not say that. And if they see me, because one or two things. Number one, I am a felon. And number two, I'm gonna get off in your ass in person. Like, I'm gonna get off in your ass. So you're not gonna even come at me like that. So do it for the show, do it on the internet. It's all cute, it's all cool. I can't really snatch my TV off the wall.
Well, it don't matter no more because the show is no longer on TV. So.
And break it across my knee because I'm mad at you. But when I see you in person, and one day I will, have that same energy. It's all that I ask. I'm not doing the back and forth on the internet. And 10 out of 10 times when people see me in person, they don't have the same energy. So cool. Have at it.
Yeah.
How many felonies do you have?
Oh,
Blaze is
what?
gonna ask one day.
Yeah.
So.
I think like on record, 2 on record.
That's not bad.
It is bad because we live in a 3-strike state. So it is pretty bad. One of them was a wobbler, so I ended up getting that expunged. And like what a wobbler is like you get to like after a certain amount of time you can go back in. If you don't commit any more felonies, you can get it to a misdemeanor. So that's where I am with one, and then I'll over.
Oh, that's not bad. 2 felonies, almost 3 strikes. That's not bad, girl. So this is what happens when you don't teach your daughters. While we talk about boy moms, let's talk about girl daughters. When you don't teach your daughters about how to go about addressing what it is they need to know about the man that they're with, instead of finding out after the fact, since he didn't make your daughter his wife, but he made her his baby's mother. And she's finding out, I guess, right now that he has 2 felonies. And then now she's saying, oh, that's not bad. Yeah.
Over time, I'll get the other one down. And yeah.
But this was what, like when you were in your 20s? Like what?
30s.
And learn behavior of making an excuse for a man, as you can see, prime example. So this happened before you met my daughter. No, it just the simple fact of it happened shows that he has the propensity to be violent. And women like this, especially a preference that men choose that women like this tend to choose men like this so they can use them and weaponize them against black men and black women. I'm just saying, it's a fact. If she don't like you, she don't want him to like you either. As they just mentioned about them calling him a felon. She just weaponized him against the people that said that because she wanted to be able to use him as a weapon, knowing that the man already got 2 strikes.
Ever since my 40th birthday, I've been like one with God. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't like, I'm not saying like I'm Pastor Mace or TD Jakes or Kirk Franklin, but I'm doing pretty well with like my faith and where I'm at in life. And I haven't been to jail in a very long time.
Right.
What changed that 40?
Callie she hit an age where I start to think about walking her down the aisle one day and her being able to go through, the period stage and like go through those battle these emotions that it takes 2 parents to like really get a child through those times, especially when it's your daughter, like my sons. I'm just being being honest. When Justice and Harlem were little, I didn't give a fuck. I was their dad. I wasn't apologetic about who I was. Yeah, I loved them, but like if I had to get something done in the streets, I was going to do it. They have good mothers. I knew they was going to be all right. My mother is like, love her grandchildren. And so I'll be like, I'll go to jail for a little bit and I wouldn't care. But that's the difference between being young and misguided versus getting older and allowing wisdom to consume you. So now I'm not going to make the same mistakes that I made when I was younger, because I really absolutely adore watching my children grow.
But that's good to hear. That's very good. So that means that he won't participate in any criminal activity because he's putting his children ahead of his own selfishness. So,
all right, Mr. Pearson, I just need your source of funds, and then we can get you right into your new home.
Do you wish to see all your children married with families?
When
boys and girls?
Yeah, I would love to, but the reality is, and this is the challenge when you have kids older. When you're older, your mom can say, concur. I think my number one thought, right, about my baby son is that when Blaze is 30, I'll be 75. And I think about Harlem's 22. He'll be 30 in 8 years, and I'll only be like 53 or something like that. But when Blaze is 30, I will be 75. My dad died at 65. My mom's 65 now. My mom has some heart issues. My dad died of a heart attack. Those are my parents. Genetically, I need to be on my wellness and on my shit and being happy and doing things that are going to keep me alive so I can probably live till my son is 50 years old. Because when he is 50, I'm going to be dead. Let's just call it spade.
Here.
I'm not, I'm just going to let everybody know that you're not going to see a 95-year-old game out here.
Right.
So I have to be.
You never know.
Oh, I know. Because right at about 80, my whiskey and my Hennessy intake is going to go through the roof. I just want to, vibe out as an old man, and I don't want to, have no regrets. But so that's why now, I'm just.
Oh, wow. So he just saying he going to give himself a good old send-off. Okay. So at some point, he's going to stop putting the kids first and just guzzle himself into a early grave so he won't have to live to see his 90s. And maybe he could live into that, but he chooses not to. He chooses to smoke and drink himself right on up out of here.
All the way, I'm diving in that pool of parenthood because I'm still young and active. For the most part, I feel great. I feel like I could live to 90 and still be driving around and doing my thing. But the reality of it is, my mom has had has a history of a few little heartaches, and my dad died from a heart attack. So I have to be realistic with my lineage and my who my parents were. And my grandparents didn't live to be, they all kind of made it to their 70s and 80s, but no one made it to 90. And this is who I come from. So I got to be real intentional about loving who I love and really spending time adoring the people I created.
But still, whether you're here or not to see Blaze when he's 50, do you still want to see all your children married with families?
Absolutely. I got a bucket list of things, like family oriented things that I'd like to see. When you watch Christmas movies and all the kids come through the door with their husband and then the kids fall in, I want to be that type of grandfather,
Mm-hmm.
And I want to do the family dinner and come down the stairs and oh, what's up, Dad? Grandpa. I really want that for myself. Yeah. I want it so much that I could damn near shed a tear about thinking about the future,
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think for me, especially with the holidays, because obviously Christmas is coming, even though I don't have a full family unit, right? I'm not married. But for me, it's still special, right. That's why I have 2 Christmas trees. I want to bring in the Christmas vibe. And it's, even though I'm not married or I don't have that unit, I feel like I have everything I need, you know, and Blaze for me is just he's really cranked it up again for me as far as the holidays, because he was a little older, but I love that because I love the idea of, and I've always desired, I've talked about that here. I've always desired and wanted to have a family unit and be married and all those things. It just didn't work out. So now I'm to a point where I'm right. I have everything I need, so.
Yeah. I have a reverse feeling about what works out and what didn't work out. I think that your marriages, I feel like they did work out, because if
It was only one.
Oh yeah, your marriage.
Yeah.
I just assumed,
It was short.
because NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, YMCA, we're just gonna throw that at you. But, yeah, so your marriage, I feel like you were married, and I feel like your ex-husband is one of your best friends in life. How, from where I'm seated. So I feel like it did work out. I feel like
no, because my ex-husband wasn't Carl.
Oh, was it? No, who was it?
No, it was Chad.
Oh,
I married Chad.
Oh, so
I was thinking.
I didn't know that. I thought you were married to Carl.
No, we were engaged. We were about to get married. We were planning a wedding, and then we broke up while we were planning this wedding. Right. But no, it was Chad.
So anyway, with the relationship with Chad, with the relationship with Carl, I'm pretty sure you love who you are today.
For sure.
So you can't say that things didn't work out. They worked out the way that they were to make you who you were today. Right. If you weren't happy in your marriage.
Well, ask her, what did she learn from it? So helped her to who she was today, and who would that be?
And you weren't happy, or someone wasn't happy in your engagement, but you made it out just fine, and you have Leo and you and Carl, seen you and Carl together. It looked like my dog. You know what I'm saying? So it did work out. And Carl looks like he's doing great. You look like you're doing great. You guys meet at the middle and parent this amazing boy. And so I feel like it did work out. I know people that have been married for 15 years that are fucking miserable, that are miserable. And I look at that and I'm like, I feel like I'm doing good, right? Like I'm great. I'm not married yet, but I feel good and I'm happy to be exactly who I am. And I also know people who are, married and thriving. So I think that your happiness and what works out or what you feel didn't work out is like subjective to how you feel when you wake up in the morning.
So why you didn't marry her daughter? I mean, you sound like you got all the words, Sally, mixing all the ranch dressing, the croutons, the bacos. Got a mashed potato on the side, and you got all the words, Sally, for this conversation to do with relationships and marriages and how it's just looking. And I mean, you couldn't apply that to your own relationship with Shaniece. Like, again, the Game and Evelyn are having more of a conversation involving love and marriage than he had with her own daughter. And I'm pretty sure she's thinking, it's like, why he didn't tell me all this stuff? Like, he got all this, the right words right now, but none of this was applied in the relationship whatsoever.
I feel if you wake up in the morning and you are 100% happy with your being and who you are and the people that you allow into your life, intentionally love you and pour into you like you pour into them, then everything else will fall into place,
Yeah. I think we have, obviously, we have a great co-parenting relationship, which leads me to you guys. Like, what is something that both of you have learned about each other through your co-parenting journey together?
Caesar Milan, how to add years to your dog's life. Sardines. 9. Bone broth. 10.
You go first.
So, to be honest, she had a
he said all that and he got to think about it now.
Way that she thought.
It's a big difference in how he can conversate with Evelyn versus how he conversates with Shaniece when it comes to like a relationship. Like she directed the conversation to him and Shaniece, and he just don't have no intellect for her at all.
Things should be, or she has a way that she thinks things should be. And I'm not fighting her on that. I think that her thoughts and her outlook on, parenthood and relationship and how a woman should bring a child into the world and what that woman needs and respect and loyalty and everything, in that pot of gumbo of like how you should treat and respect the woman that you're having a child with. I think that all her views are right. I think that I'm used to doing things my way. I'm also an alpha male. I'm also a Sagittarius. I'm also a very hard person to deal with sometimes because I get bullheaded. Mm-hmm. And when I put my foot down, it's kind of.
Sometimes it doesn't matter what sign you are. Just be the man you're supposed to be and be the woman you're supposed to be, despite the sign that you might want to represent. So it doesn't matter that you're a Sagittarius. You just need to be the man that you are supposed to be and respect yourself enough to be and apply it honestly, truthfully, and loyally in this world, and you will get that back.
Kind of like it's my way or the highway, which is something I'm still working on, and it's probably got real difficult for her in the beginning stages because she felt like, why are you so
bullheaded?
Yeah, and I'm so like calm and patient and trying to figure it out. And I don't think in the early stages that I gave her enough grace to really live it how she saw fit.
Yeah. Go ahead, Shaw.
What was the question? To learn about men?
Yeah, like what have you learned? Because co-parenting sometimes, I mean, obviously, especially, it's not easy. Co-parenting with someone's not easy, no matter what the situation is.
We had a few months of like fire with fire,
Yeah.
Well, thank you for saying that you didn't give me enough grace, because I do agree with you. And I think a lot of my anger came from you not delivering what the expectations were.
Yeah.
So we'll leave that there. But I think that I had to learn.
And that's the problem when you left it there and y'all didn't address it, yet you're addressing everything else that sugarcoats and makes him look good without holding him accountable at the same time. Because if he's able to handle every other part of this conversation, then he should be able to handle how you felt about that, because your mother is able to ask him questions and he's answering them. So I don't know why you would feel like you're not able to ask and answer and get answers about what you were expecting and the promises he made that he did not keep. So again, you let him get away with what he probably got away with y'all was in a relationship, and that's probably why you two are not together.
Learn how to, when I'm done with someone, I'm done with them. And because you share a child, you can't necessarily be done with them.
Yeah.
So I think I had to learn how to wrap my mind around the fact that, like, this is for life. Because otherwise I would have been like,
Apparently you can go from 0 to a complete site in just a single prompt with Wix Harmony. I don't know if this is going to be possible, or Vibe.
Like, would we be sitting here today if we didn't have Blaze? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I can see that.
Because otherwise it would have been like, all right.
Yeah, because when you stop talking to somebody, you're like, okay, whatever. Yeah. But when you do share,
I mean, I feel like I would have still been.
If you just would hush, Evelyn, and let them like talk about that, so they can so she can get an understanding as to if they did not have a child, would he really be there? And he probably would.
Don't drop the low, so I would have been
but maybe for different reasons, right?
Yeah, right?
Because I also do feel like we were meant to cross paths in whatever capacity we were meant to cross paths in. And we were having this conversation the other day by like, well, in my opinion, the universe and God doesn't make mistakes. So right. Blaze was supposed to be here. You were supposed to be Blaze's dad. We were chosen to be his parents. So I think that I just had to learn how to grasp with the fact of like, okay, this is a situation in which you have to stick around me.
Right.
That's not my thing. That's not my dating life. There's like one ex that I ended up being friends with like a year or two after we broke up. But so I think that's what I had to.
Yeah, I think I will say I'm proud that we're able to do this.
Yeah.
Because there were a few bumps in the road. And I know for you being a new mom, having to figure out how to co-parent with this person. He's a bullhead. He's a Sagittarius. you're like you're a Gemini, but you got a little, I don't know what you're rising
or something.
Yeah, I don't know what you're.
Cancer is like Harlem. I feel like I use Harlem, which is my oldest son, as you know, like the foundation for like the model human, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like you are like calm and chill and non-confrontational and like deserve ultimate respect because of how cool your soul is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like the same way about my son, but my other children they're a little bit different. This kid is just like God's gift to a family. And I feel like you have a lot of those characteristics, even though Cancer characteristics, even though you are a Gemini. Every other Gemini that I met is like a Sagittarius op, you know, if you will.
I think that's what she was going to.
Here we are again talking about the signs when we should be addressing each other as people. I understand it. You know, a lot of us do get caught up in our signs, but goodness, does it has to be like a big part of the conversation? Like, just address her as who you see her as, who the person that you thought she was or is, and nothing to do with our signs. Who cares?
Too.
Yeah.
Well, because even though you are a Gemini, which is what, an air sign,
yeah,
you still have a little fight.
Like
an air. Is that an air?
Because sometimes she be having her blind moments.
Well,
or you could say, even though you are the man that, you know, did not marry my daughter, but you got her pregnant, despite of being a Gemini.
You know what? I always laugh at God sometimes because I'm like, you know, it's really interesting the kids that he gives you, right? And the fact that I gave birth to like a yogi is always funny to me because we're the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm very much like you because we are Sagittarius and we are bullheaded. So Shaniece is blessed because you got two Saggies around you.
But I had to be the opposite.
You're right. You're right.
Like,
you're right. And we look at you like you're crazy sometimes.
Yeah, and me, you know, for me about her, right? Like, I think you're kind of the same way. Like, we talk every day, every other day, about like life in general. But I think that, you know, like my baby mama is like a special person. She's a real special person. I think she's a better person than I am. She has a way more reserve and like study, calm, almost like a perfect human being head ass nigga. Like, I feel like that about you. I don't feel like that about myself. I feel like I'm like got some fucked up shit going and I'm still trying to like balance out my lowrider. But for you, I tell your mom this behind your back. I tell people that ask, like, you are an outstanding human being.
Thank you.
It's a little weird to someone who doesn't know how to appreciate it at times because I never met anyone like you in my life. And I tell everyone that. But the thing that I say the most is that, like, how great of a person you are. And so when I think about who my son will be in the future, like, I know he ain't going to be no punk. I know he's going to be athletic. I know he's going to be tall, but I know that his heart and who he is in his soul is going to be great because of you.
Yeah.
And so, and I believe that, and I know that wholeheartedly, and I won't let anyone, like no one in the world, like tell me otherwise.
Find your perfect tax expert, whatever your tax situation might be.
Right.
Hand off your taxes to an expert who gets you with TurboTax Expert Full Service.
File them taxes, y'all.
It's more than an SUV. It's your Chevy Equinox with advanced safety features.
Yeah, you brought tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's very sweet.
But that says a lot about you and your motherhood, and it says a lot about your mother because I met your mother, and she is
she's a Sag.
Oh yeah.
She's
so again, she raised you.
Yeah.
And then you raised her, and you figured that out. And a lot of people, like, you don't get enough credit. Like, having a baby at 17? Mm-hmm. That is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
If Callie has a baby at 17, nobody lives. The baby, the daughter, like, I can't. So the fact that you did that and that you're sitting on the couch.
That's kind of wild to be like, we had a baby at 17. That's crazy. But if it's my daughter, that is forbidden. It's like he criticized her, but gave her roses at the same time. Like, you can't slap me and then hug me and tell me you just did not slap me, dude. What? Carry on.
And you guys are twin beauties, you know, like that is amazing. And a lot of people out there, hella, we are the judgmental motherfuckers. Like they gonna see this and find a way to pick this apart and tell us we ain't shit, you know? And
all I hear y'all talking about is looks and signs in this part one of this video. Just looks and zodiac signs. That's all.
You over there, greens, beans, potatoes, YMCA, NBA, NFL, like, you know, I look at people saying shit about you and we talk about it. I tell you, like, we got to laugh this shit off,
right.
You know, because the person that's saying it or the people that are, you know, spraying it, they look in the mirror, they do not love themselves.
Right.
I fucking love myself. I know this, she loves herself and you absolutely adore yourself. So, I mean, people got to vibrate at their highest frequency. Right. And you can't really give a fuck about people like trying to tear you down. And I say that to, you know, other celebrities. Like sometimes I see like Cardi B feeling a way about somebody saying some shit. Fuck, if you Cardi B, fuck you.
Right.
Like, fuck you. I'm Cardi B, nigga. Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
So it's like, but you know, I know women are working with different type of emotions and shit like that. But for me, being a man and an alpha male and a Sagittarius male, like, I don't give a fuck who says what. You know, like say whatever you want on the internet. But like, if you see me and you say it, then obviously we're going to have issues.
Right.
And what it was going to look like and what it was going to take to raise them. And I think that I think we got it, though. I think we got it. But ultimate love. And he's been getting that. You obviously, because he loved me, but he don't really fuck with me like that yet. But because he went shop every single day, all day, and I drop in, pop in to make sure, like at this point, he know exactly who his dad is. But he loved me the most when it's time when he needs me to get him out the crib. I am the crib lifter upper, and for those 30 seconds, like, you know, he loves me to death. But like that is at this point right now, that's her child. But I know how parenthood works, and I know that it'll come to a stage where it's daddy, daddy, daddy. And so I'm just super amped about waiting for that. But like the joy.
Sons ask for their dads now. I have a son and he asks for his dad now. I don't know why men are in this mode where they think that the baby's not gonna need them until it starts talking, or placing a life expansion on the child by saying you're going to wait till they're 5 or 8 years old before you have any type of physical reaction to them is weird, because a child, no matter what the age is, wants to know their mom and their dad. So I just find that as an excuse as to why you don't want to be a parent, because you want to pick the time when you want to be dad, while she's having to do the hard work, I guess, rearing a child. When you're supposed to be there as well, it takes two. And if you don't want to be there, just be honest and say that I don't want to be there in the beginning stages. Because of whatever your reasoning might be. But let's not lie and make up excuses as to, well, she's showing me that, you know, she's gonna do this part of the rearing until the baby turns 8 or 5, when the baby learns well before then how to talk. So I just find it as a baseless excuse, and that you should be there in the beginning. That baby, any baby, especially boys, they know their dads and they want the dad there. Some of them first words are dad. So my child's father was there, and I would feel some type of way if he would have waited till he turned 5 or 8 years old before he decided that he was going to enter into his life and then do something. These kids will think you are a stranger. You have to start over building trust with this child because they don't know you at 5 and 8.
Joy that I see in the interactions between them two, it would literally make you cry. And then you know, grandmama, but like over here, like side mama, like he absolutely adores you too. But again, man, you guys are
funny.
great family members.
Even if I'm traveling, I FaceTime him. I call all the time. Like the other day I called him and he was in the bed or whatever. And he was like so excited. So like, it's nice. Like I've been waiting for this time. I've been waiting for my time. He was the worst.
Imagine choosing from 100 plus meals a week that are healthy and also delicious. Let's be real. Factor's menu is way healthier than the
I'm just skipping through because they're talking about the baby.
Speak for like everybody who has a relationship with their grandmother that like, and you know, my mom is gonna watch this and talking about how much I love my grandmother, and she
around the Bronx and just like not knowing life looks like shit, you know.
So I'm just gonna go to part 2. Because they just talking about grandparenting and parenting and the baby and stuff. So
and infidelity participants and shit like that. But it's like at some point I gotta kind of look at myself at 46 and say like, nigga, you might not be nobody's husband. You know, I'm good at fatherhood. I'm good at hustling and providing. But I think that being a great partner is something I'm still.
So I'm gonna
He's single. I don't know. He posted somebody recently on his story, and me and Leo was like, I was like, look at your stepmama. But you know, I'm always like, find someone amazing that can help you with the kids. Like it's all love. But he's been single for a while or was, and I encourage that because I'm like, I think you're doing exactly what you should be doing. You know, like. So do you like that? Like being free, single? I know you said you want to get married.
I like one day that's been a dream of mine for a very long time. Am I?
Stop. So I'm pretty sure y'all heard that. It probably went over a lot of people's heads. Being married is a dream of his, but get married. And if I'm Shaniece and I'm sitting right there hearing that, I would have to ask, if it's a dream of yours, then what made us not able to be married? Like anybody, man or woman, if your significant ex-other is sitting there saying that, you're going to have a question as to, well, why didn't we get to that part? That's kind of weird.
Husband material? To be honest, I don't fucking know because I keep fucking these relationships up, and I'm not. And it's definitely, let me tell you, honey, it's definitely not the women I choose because I choose really good women,
right?
You know, and I choose the women that deserve a husband and deserve respect and loyalty. And
this is the worst thing I've ever heard. You choose women that deserve respect and loyalty, so you're not giving them respect and loyalty. You're wasting their time, and then men get mad when a woman reminds them and tells them that that's what they did, and then you want to call her old and used up when you were right there to waste her time and use her up. I don't get it.
Non-infidelity participants and shit like that. But it's like at some point I gotta kind of look at myself at 46 and say like, nigga, you might not be nobody's husband. You know, I'm good at fatherhood. I'm good at hustling.
Basically, he don't want to get married.
And providing, but I think that being a great partner is something I'm still struggling with, to be honest, if I'm being honest. And you have some men out there that are in relationships. You have some men out there that are husbands, and maybe they're just amazing guys. But you have some out there that are masking who they really are for this fairy tale, and it's going to end up crashing and burning because of the non-transparency. I'm 100. I'm 100.
How do you, so if Shaw got married, so Shaw gets married next year,
yeah,
right? And now Blaze has a stepdad. Like, how do you feel about that? Because I feel like sometimes the other person's like, was like the father or the mother feels some type of way about it because someone else is helping raising their child. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, if Shaw was like, listen, I'm getting married, you know, this is the guy, like, would you want to meet that person?
I definitely need to meet the person because you're going to be around my child. You know, I think at the point when someone's going to be around your child, you should afford the other person the luxury and the respect of like meeting the person that's going to be around the child so that they can say if they're comfortable or not, right? Because that is very important. Now, if Shaw got married next year, which is very unlikely because I'm not.
You know that. How you going to say very unlikely? Like, wow.
It has nothing to do with you and everything to do with me. I'm telling you, there's a thing that like soon as someone figures out that like your baby daddy is the game, it gets a little tricky for a man because people think they know who I am, right? And so it gets a little, damn, am I going to have to like...
The right man not going to care. A grown man that's about his business and family is not going to care who you are. They're going to beat you and y'all going to get along and try to co-parent, and you shouldn't make it a problem. Just simple as that.
Catch a fade with this nigga. I know how he feels about his kids. So is he going, do I really feel like doing it? Yes, you're beautiful. And yes, I want to be with you. Or yes, I love you. But I think that thought process and that courting stage lasts longer than a year. So it definitely won't be next year.
Right.
You don't know.
I'm just being honest.
Yeah, I mean, you can, well, yeah.
And her mama just laughing, like, and then she just agreeing. And I would have been like, no, because if I meet somebody, he might decide he want to marry her in like 5 to 7 months. And it might actually happen. And I want to see who's laughing then and how he might feel then. He sound like he might try to make trouble. But to sit there and laugh like it's funny when it's not, because it's not. Like you don't believe that your daughter can find somebody in that time. But that's what happened when your mother's your friend.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a woman. I get it. But
I know for a fact that like it's cool, but I'm just saying, I mean, she asked the question.
Yeah, well, no, because we were talking about like, I don't know what led me to this. Something led me to that. Oh, about you getting married or whatever. Because then I thought about you. I was like, oh, how about if, you know, one day you get married, how would you feel? Because for me, it's like, I would love for Carl to get married. You know, like I would love for him.
Shaniece can't even lead with the questions because she's leaning on her mother to answer the questions. Because she feels like her mom can better can better word it than she can. But Shaniece, all you have to do is just stop and think about what you're going to say. You know what you want to ask him. So just ask him. You know what you want to say. So just say it.
Him to get married and find an amazing woman that can be great to Leo and his other kids.
I got a question for you too.
It's nice to know that he's going over there and there's some female energy and you're making him breakfast or you're, you know, like you're being a stepmom.
So as cool and as good of friends as you and Carl are now, right? Let's say you get you find a new guy, right? And you get engaged to this new guy. And now he's almost Leo's stepfather. Mm-hmm. And relationships go through things, right? And you're a Sagittarius and you are a little fiery at times. Mm-hmm. And then you're not going to pick some scrawny little nigga who ain't a man. So you're going to pick a manly man. Mm-hmm. And men do shit sometimes. And you might have a shouting match. Couples kind of shout at each other sometimes, right? Especially when they're fiery. And Leo hears a man shouting at you, but he's little, right? So he can't really do nothing. He tells his dad, Jerome's over here shouting at my mama, and Carl is like not far. Carl gonna come over here in the defense of you and his child's mother because he's known you for well longer than Jerome or whoever, and there might be issues. So that's what I'm saying when I say that a man, knowing that, let's say, his name is Jerome, comes in once he figure out that your baby is Carl and that Carl a little hood and that he really is about his children, it gets a little
intimidating.
It gets a little intimidating. Mm-hmm. That's all I was saying. I wasn't saying the quality of woman isn't there. She doesn't deserve a husband or to be loved and respected and have the big ring and, a very much easier life than anything she's ever dreamed of. Yeah, she deserves all that. It just gets a little tricky when, your baby daddy is one of those niggas.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Go ahead. I feel like you got
she like, I got a nigga that'll fight you right now by me.
That wasn't my
Pull up, bro.
Fast forward. So you've had interviews that went viral for the wrong reasons. You've had a few interviews that have went viral for the wrong reasons, right? So when you look at those clips or look at those interviews, do you self-reflect? Do you see things differently after the fact, or are you like, it happened, I'm done with it, whatever?
I stand on business about my interviews, all of them. Like if I said it, fuck it, I said it. Like I'm not about to backtrack.
So do you mean everything you say, or sometimes you just
sometimes
say
I'm influenced by my alcohol intake on that night, and you know me, you guys know me. I don't drink normally, but if I'm out and I have me a few little shots and I feel a little way, I might say some crazy shit. But I'm also, you guys know me, right? And if people knew me and knew that I had like this humorous personality, they wouldn't take everything I said so personally. Like I watched Dave Chappelle's comedy special last night, and he said, he says, him, Kevin Hart too. They say offensive shit, but they're comedians like professionally. But I feel like I'm not Dave Chappelle or fucking Kevin Hart, but I feel like I'm pretty like comedic and funny and like playful and jokey. So sometimes when I say shit, I could be joking. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or like just poking fun at a situation, and people take it so seriously. And like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I also think it's the time that we're living in,
Sean's
right?
Like,
because
why don't you give a fuck? These things are crazy.
No, but I think these things are crazy.
She thinks I'm crazy, by the way.
I also think it's the time that we live in, right? Because you think about the Eddie Murphys and the stand-ups, and is it Richard Pryor? Yeah. Like they would say that's the era that we grew in because we're not far in age, but like you could say whatever the fuck you want to say.
People are more sensitive these days.
Yeah.
Like so fucking sensitive. And I mean, I'm not here to tell nobody to, pick your head up, little nigga, or nothing like that. But it's like everybody's so pussy these days. Like, relax.
You talking about all that, but in the beginning part one of the video, you said if somebody was to call you a felon or so to your face, even if it's if it's jokingly, you said you would do something to them. So now we talking about something that's a joke that they should take as a joke. Now we just being playful.
Actually, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah. You do say crazy. One thing about him, you could be texting him or having a conversation about something serious, like, and you always say something crazy.
Yeah, because I kind of want to because life gets real. Life gets serious. It's gonna get serious for everyone. If you haven't had a serious moment or really lost anyone you love, if you have all your parents and your grandparents and you're young, I want you to know that life gets serious and you need to find like the silver lining, and laughter, smiling through smile through the bullshit is literally, the saying. Like I've learned to do that, and I've had like some traumatic shit happen to me in my life to where I got to get right back on the horse and laugh my way through the jungle to get through some of the shit. So that's just my coping mechanism. It doesn't necessarily have to work for everybody.
Is there an instance in the things that you say that you have been misunderstood and you never corrected that you can think of?
Like a certain thing?
Yeah. Like I said this, I didn't mean it that way, or,
I kind of usually say what I mean at the time. And even if I feel like it was a little bit misunderstood, like I can't knock on everybody's door and be like, hey, yo, are you home? Yo, remember when I said this? I didn't really mean it. Like, I'm not doing that. Like once I said it, the shit is said, and either it alters the way that you view me, and maybe you're no longer a fan or a follower, but like, fuck you. I'm not out here living for you. I'm living for these kids and my mama, and that's pretty much it. So you're gonna have to like suck it up, ride that shit out, and maybe hit the unfollow button, or maybe take me off the playlist and go listen to somebody else and support somebody else. Because if my humor, my antics, or my music, or whatever I am on the day that I'm being what I am isn't for you, then like, I don't know, eat a dick.
Yeah. So let's talk about the album. So is there a date? Is there a date for the drop?
I'm just gonna say I'm tired of like giving dates of publishing and like things that I have to revert to my new son.
Yeah.
Like Callie and Harlem and Justice are, they'll be able to live off the royalties from the documentary and all the albums prior to Blaze being born for a very long time. And so everything, from the time that you told me you were pregnant until I'm no more, like it's built for him.
Yeah. Has fatherhood changed the way you write? Like the things that you say?
No. I'm like, I don't be thinking about them little niggas when
I actually believe that part, because I'm like, it ain't changed him from cussing on this in this interview. I mean, golly, he about to say something else.
I'll be like, Crip niggas, blood niggas. I don't be thinking about one.
Oh my God.
Child.
Y'all, I'm trying not to mess up the video, but I'm trying to like talk over him too, because it's so much profanity. Oh my goodness.
When you're in the booth, like, what does that look like? Do you have a cocktail? Do you smoke? Like, what do you need to have the lights? Like, what is your vibe?
I'm just gonna skip through.
It's a
comment about the relationship between him and Shaniece.
It's his ass.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
That's a fractured humerus, torn MCL, torn meniscus, and it's all mine.
You should take your own advice.
You don't think I got enough hugs?
No, you definitely didn't get enough hugs as a child.
My grandma hugged me all the time.
You
and my
did
mom,
not get enough hugs as a child.
My mom will watch this, and she is. It's one of those things, right? My mom was not a hugger; she was a hustler. And so she really we had everything. I had Jordans, FUBU, Guess jeans, like any Nintendo or Sega or PlayStation I wanted. But my mom is not like a hugger. She's not wasn't that affectionate for me and, my siblings. But she hugged the fuck out these grandkids. Like she hugged these little niggas so crazy. And, like she still don't give me 2-hand hugs.
Lynette is
listen.
My mom hug you like a homie.
I love Lynette.
Lynette is, Lynette had a.
It's a parental thing. It's a two-parent thing. And you don't necessarily have to be in the same house. I think the kids just need love, no matter what that looks like, from wherever you are. And if you love your kids wholeheartedly, I think they will turn out to be a lot better human beings.
Yeah. And
me, again, I'm not the model for an amazing human. I think that my oldest son is.
So, him as a black man, he don't care about the damage he causes to that black woman.
But yo, have you seen her change a diaper? She do the shit like origami.
I was hormonal.
Yeah. Now that I met him, though, not to cut you off, but now that I met him, he could have been a little JC though.
Thank God he's
so
not.
Beautiful. Why?
I'm so happy he's not. It just shows how I was pregnant, I was hormonal, I was like in love, and I'm like, yeah, let's name him after the dad. Thank God his name is not JC. I would have been calling him your name all day long. For the rest of his life.
Yo, so the thing about that is, lucky for you, right? Because Callie looks damn near identical to me.
True.
And literally, like Tiff would tell you, that pisses her off. Because if she feeling a way, like a little way about me, she has to look at Callie and be like, motherfucker.
Ooh.
So when it came time to for the other parent to sign the passport, when you want to take them on a vacation, I would have been like, I ain't got no hands. I'm good, But nah, I think he turned out perfect. I think everything about him, from name.
So I'm just going to stop sharing there and cut the video, because the video is filled with nothing but profane language. And if they're not using profanity, they're talking about zodiac signs. And if they're not talking about zodiac signs, then Evelyn and the game are pretty much talking to each other. Shaniece just gets in when she can fit in the conversation. Other than that, we really don't even notice her, even though that's Evelyn's daughter and the game's ex-girlfriend and mother of his child. The header in the video was me explaining that when you are your daughter's best friend and you're not teaching them life lessons, this is pretty much how it can go, where your ex, because he was associated with your mother before he met you, because you were only young when they were around each other, the game and Evelyn, and you didn't meet him until you were older. And I feel like Evelyn should have taught her things about what to be aware of when it comes to anybody, even if it is the game, and what to expect. Because Evelyn has been out here in these streets to know enough about a man. And like I said, she's going to know more about you than you know about her. She's going to do her homework on you. And she could have did her homework on the game if she hadn't already and before then, to warn her daughter. This is just like a situation where a lot of us grew up. Even me, sometimes I wasn't taught a whole lot, but I was taught enough to know a thing. So it's a lot of us that do grow up and our mothers don't teach us about how these boys can talk to you a certain way and that you have to be weary of. They can be real nice to you just so they can get next to you and have take advantage of you intimately, and then they don't like you anymore. And so you have to respect yourself enough not to let them take advantage of you in that way. Sometimes we forget how to tell our daughters how to take care of themselves. So it's like, can't be your daughter's in a way to where it blinds you from the lesson that you're supposed to teach her growing up, because she's going to grow into a teenager and then into a young lady. And if she doesn't have the skills to deal with a man like the game, she will continue to run into men like the game who will take advantage of her because she doesn't know any better. And then he won't marry her because her mother's made her so nice and so submissive to the point where she's just being nice to get by and not cause anything, because as you can see, she's seeing her mom be nice to him and she doesn't want to make it an uncomfortable situation for him, because Evelyn might blame her. She might feel like she might get the blame if she decided to go left in the conversation and really get down and dirty into what really happened between them and why their relationship became what it was. And I also felt like the game was hiding behind trying to play Mr. Nice Guy and at the same time being mean guy at the same realm. So I just felt like this whole podcast, this whole interview was just a show. Him trying to be respectable and try to be nice whilst cussing up a storm in this interview. I mean, it just gave that. It pretty much gave that him and Shaniece had nothing in common. That she only went as far as she let herself go and as she was taught or as she observed, seeing how far you let a man go. So, I mean, he said that he knows he doesn't believe she's even going to be married in a year. And Me, if it was me, I would say, I mean, I don't claim that. You're not gonna put that over me and say that I'm not gonna meet a man and he's not gonna marry me in a year. And then it was just a lot that happened in that conversation as far as when it came to relationships. Him saying things like, he dreams of being married one day, but it wasn't to the person that's standing across from him, Shaniece, his son's mother, which was odd. And this whole conversation was given contradiction and back and forth and flip floppy and wish washy. And it didn't go anywhere. They were just talking in circles, just passing the thing around and across. So, yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say in that, as far as how some moms make the mistake of being their daughter's boyfriend and not being able to teach them life values, self-respect, and just lessons. Because some mothers will intentionally not teach you these things to keep you stagnant and make you dependable. Some moms like for the daughters to be dependable on them. And that's why they keep their daughters stupid, their daughters dumb to the idea of life and independence. I know I have people that are around me that I know are like that. Daughters don't know how to drive, don't know how to be independent away from their mom because the mom wants to keep the daughter under them. So it's a whole thing when you really want to talk about it. So it's the fact that literally leave them stagnant as to their thought process when dealing with a man. It's the fact that they allow their daughters some to be able to court a man and bring this man or boy in the house, spending the night, and they don't care. Long as they have their daughter at home, they will allow their daughters, their friend, to bring in boys, and that's how they get pregnant. Mom, sometimes she doesn't care. I mean, it's her daughter. Another stagnant situation, keeping her at home. So not only do you have a man trapping her because she's a hottie, you also have her mom trapping her because she didn't lay a foundation for her daughter outside of being besties and 20 and being her mini me. So I have seen this and I have witnessed this for myself. And I feel like the only cure in that is for Shaniece to grow up here. She's going to have to learn. She's going to have to learn on her own. And it's worse when you have to learn on your own, because then you really get hit hard with life and life's lessons. Because those lessons alone, without being taught them and having to learn them, cold turkey is a very hard lesson to learn, but it's worth it. So, yeah, that's all I had to say in this video, guys. I would like to thank you so much for watching it. Please support my channel, like and subscribe if you can. And second video down. This one was over an hour and a half, so I'm going to get off of here. And I will see you guys later. Have a good night. Bye.